Our journey around Sri Lanka continues, and while we are traveling towards Galle, we stop to visit the Masks Museum. Here we are introduced to the Sani Yakuma, sometimes known as Daha Ata Saniya, which is a traditional Sinhalese exorcism ritual. The ritual consists of 18 masked dances, each depicting a particular illness or ailment affecting humans. These 18 dances are the main dances of the Pahatarata or Low Country dancing form, which is one of the three main dancing forms of Sri Lanka. The ritual calls the demons who are thought to affect the patient, who are then taught not to trouble humans and banished. It was believed that illnesses were brought on humans by demons, and these beliefs and rituals could have Dravidian roots. According to folklore, the 18 demons who are depicted in the Sani Yakuma originated during the time of the Buddha. The story goes that the king of Lichavis of Vaishali suspected his queen of committing adultery and had her killed. However, she gave birth when she was executed, and her child became the Kola Saniya, who grew up feeding on his mother's corpse. The Kola Sani demon destroyed the city, seeking vengeance on his father, the king. He created 18 lumps of poison and charmed them, thereby turning them into demons who assisted him in his destruction of the city. They killed the king and continued to wreak havoc in the city, killing and eating thousands daily, until finally being tamed by the Buddha and agreed to stop harming humans. Each of these demons are believed to affect humans in the form of an illnesses, and the Sani Yakuma ritual summons these demons and banishes them back to the demon world after bringing them under control. Although it is unclear when the ritual began, it has been performed in the southern and western part of the country since ancient times. The name of the ritual comes from the Sinhala word Saniya, meaning disease or ailment, and Yakuma, meaning demon ritual. In Sri Lankan culture, exorcism rituals are known as Tobin. The Sani Yakuma is possibly the best known exorcism ritual in the country. It is a mix of traditional beliefs regarding spirits with Buddhism. Before performing the healing ritual, the lead performer, known as the Yakadura, determines whether the patient is affected by a demon and schedule the ritual for an auspicious day and time, usually from dusk to dawn. The Endura or Yakadura is the shaman healer and is usually a fisherman, drummer or farmer. It has two main stages, namely the Atapaliya and Daha Ata Saniya. The dancers are dressed in colorful attire and masks and perform swift and complex dance steps and spins, accompanied by rhythmical drum beats. Rather comic and somewhat obscene dialogues take place between the drummer and the demon on stage, in which the demon is humiliated. Although there are only 18 demons, there is a variety of Sani masks that differ from place to place. However, you can see now the 18 most common masks, which are associated with the ailments. The nice thing of Sri Lanka is that almost wherever you go, you can find someone who sells you coconut. We are getting used to them and we are enjoying their refreshing water day by day. There's nothing better than drinking such a cooling nectar while enjoying the beauty of this view. what a wonderful beach! Talking about stunning things, it's time to tell you that Sri Lanka's gem industry has a very long and colorful history. Sri Lanka was affectionately known as Ratnadvipa, which means Gem Island. The name is a reflection of its natural wealth. Marco Polo wrote that the island had the best sapphire, topazes, amethysts and other gems in the world. Ptolemy, the 2nd century astronomer, recorded that beryl and sapphire were the mainstay of Sri Lanka's gem industry. Records from sailors that visited the island states that they brought back jewels of Serendip. Serendip was the ancient name given to the island by Middle Eastern and Persian traders that crossed the Indian Ocean to trade gem from Sri Lanka to East during the 4th and 5th century. Sri Lanka, geologically speaking, is an extremely old country. 90% of the rocks of the island are of Precambrian age, 560 million to 2,400 million years ago. The gems form in sedimentary residual gem deposits, alluvial deposits, metamorphic deposits, skarn and calcium-rich rocks. Nearly all the gem formations in Sri Lanka are located in the central high-grade metamorphic terrain of the highland complex. The gem deposits are classified as sedimentary, metamorphic and magmatic, the sedimentary types being the most abundant. The mineralogy of the gem deposits varies widely with, among others, corundum, chrysoberyl, beryl, spinel, topaz, zircon, tourmaline, garnet being common. Residual deposits are mainly found in fluid plains of rivers and streams. The metamorphic types of gems constitute 90% of the gem deposits in Sri Lanka. It has been estimated that nearly 25% of the total land area of Sri Lanka is potentially gem-bearing, making Sri Lanka one of the countries with the highest density of gem deposits compared to its landmass. Ratnapura contains the most gem deposits and derived its name from the gem industry. Ratnapura means City of Gems. Galle is a major city in Sri Lanka, situated on the southwestern tip, 119 kilometers from Colombo. Galle was known as Jimbatita before the arrival of the Portuguese in the 16th century, when it was the main port on the island. Galle reached the height on its development in the 18th century, during the Dutch colonial period. Galle is the best example of a fortified city built by the Portuguese in South and Southeast Asia, showing the interaction between Portuguese architectural styles and native traditions. The city was extensively fortified by the Dutch during the 17th century from 1649 onwards. The Galle Fort is a World Heritage Site and is the largest remaining fortress in Asia built by the European occupiers.
Siamo arrivati al Dutch Fort, il forte costruito dagli olandesi qui a Galle.
On 26 December 2004, the city was devastated by the massive tsunami caused by the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake, which occurred off the coast of Indonesia, 1,000 miles away. Thousands were killed in the city alone. According to James Emerson Tennant, Galle was the ancient seaport of Tarshish, from which King Solomon drew ivory, peacocks, and other valuables. Cinnamon was exported from Sri Lanka as early as 1400 before Christ. Ancient Greek and Roman geographers may have known about Galle. Ptolemy might also have known about the port in which he referred to as Odoka. Moroccan traveler Ibn Battuta visited Galle, or Cali as he called it, in 1342. During the 12th and 13th centuries, Sinhalese refugees fleeing from Tamil armies from the north began to settle in Galle and other nearby areas. Galle had been a prominent seaport long before Western rule in the country. Persians, Arabs, Greeks, Romans, Malays, Indians and Chinese were doing businesses through Galle port. The modern history of Galle starts in 1502, when a small fleet of Portuguese ships under the command of Lourenço de Almeida, on their way to the Maldives, were blown off, caused by a storm. Realizing that the king resided in Cot, close to Colombo, Lourenço proceeded there after a brief stop in Galle. In 1640, the Portuguese were forced to surrender to the Dutch East India Company. The Dutch built the present fort in 1663. They built a fortified solid granite wall and 3 bastions known as Sun, Moon and Star. After the British took over the country from the Dutch in 1796, the British preserved the fort unchanged and used it as the administrative center of the district. Galle was known as Jimhatita in ancient times. The term is believed to be derived from the classical Sinhalese term meaning port near the river Jim. It is believed that the town got its name as Galle in the native tongue as a result of the large number of bullock carts that took shelter in the area, following the long slow journeys from remote areas of the island. Galle in Sinhala means the place where cattle are herded together. Hence, the Sinhalese name for Galle is a development from Galle. Another theory is that the word Galle is derived from the Dutch word gallus, which means rooster. The Dutch have used the rooster as a symbol of Galle, though probably the word comes from the Portuguese gallo, rooster. Oh, I forgot to mention it. If you come to Galle, don't miss the chance of bargaining to buy a jewel. The town is plenty of interesting offers. Also, today's videos come to an end, but don't miss the opportunity to continue traveling with me. So, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. See you next Monday! Ciao!